Hi Michael, how's it going?
I'm going very good.
How are you enjoying your time at ETHIndia?
Oh, it's actually really great. Looks like lots of interactions with multiple people.
What was your first experience with Ethereum?
Yeah, so actually I've noticed Ethereum back when Vitalik announced this project before he did the crowd sale in the beginning of 2014, and it looked pretty exciting. But later I kind of heard how development of Ethereum is going, and I didn't believe it will come to fruition, but actually it did. So and yeah, I didn't work particularly in blockchain space until we basically turned our project towards the blockchain community. But I mean, I played with Bitcoin blockchain just before Ethereum got crowdfunded.
So what's your project and how did it get started?
Yeah, so my project NuCypher is a re-encryption network. So it allows you to write decentralized applications which are end-to-end encrypted, and you can manage permissions over encrypted data. So and when everything is end-to-end encrypted, basically all the users have their own key pairs. So it's actually pretty challenging. Like, how do you make several other users to read data encrypted by your key? So of course you can encrypt for every of them individually, but it's not very scalable. And also then there is a question about access revocation. So and that's what our network solves. Using something called proxy re-encryption. And you asked about how we got started. We actually got started not as a re-encryption network. We got started as an end-to-end encrypted database, 0DB. And this was back in 2016, actually even a little bit earlier. We wanted to use proxy re-encryption to share data in that end-to-end encrypted database with other users. Anyway, we tried to find customers for that, and it seemed like these customers would be banks, or like financial sector. We went to London and did a startup accelerator over there, and while working with this financial sector, we figured out that what they would need is not so much a slowish, although encrypted database, but the ability to share data while it's encrypted in their big data infrastructure in general. So we just took proxy re-encryption and implemented this kind of ability to share encrypted data in Hadoop and Kafka. And then we actually watched the blockchain space, many decentralized applications coming up, and we saw a need for keeping the data encrypted. And while for financial sector or whatever, it's not as important to have data always encrypted, at the end of the day you can trust your system administrator. In decentralized world, you cannot trust anyone. So, and that's why you want to keep data always encrypted. You don't want the data to appear, like private data to appear unencrypted in some stranger's computer. So, we decided to apply this to decentralized application space. And basically, what our network is, it is a kind of decentralized application which is doing permission management over encrypted data.
What is the best thing that hasn't been built yet?
Which hasn't been built? Well, there are multiple things you can see in real world, which probably would benefit from decentralization. For example, if you think about Google, right? Google indexes like the whole world, so they have to. I think they have specific optical cables, Google cables across oceans, which they pass, whole internet through over a day or something, which is a little crazy. Like, why do you need to pull all the internet into your central servers and do all the processing there? Why wouldn't you decentralize this whole process of like crawling and indexing? And why wouldn't you have something like Google Search, where kind of participants over whole globe do the indexing job, and then you wouldn't need to pool all internet in one place or like few places. I think this kind of thing would really benefit a lot from decentralization, not to mention censorship resistance and stuff like that.
So kind of giving back power to people.
Yeah, and it's not only power; it also makes a lot of sense technologically.
Right.
So, and since you have like two of these things, it's kind of I don't know. Internet search is kind of screaming to be decentralized. Well, actually, I think I saw some project which is doing decentralized search, but I saw it only when they did ICO, and it didn't pop up after that.
Curiosity is definitely a big driver here, as you've seen with all the questions.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of your experiences with the hackers? Anything?
Yeah, so with the hackers, I would say every time I go to our table, hackers just start coming and talking and asking questions non-stop. It's even a little bit exhausting, but it's actually very exciting. I think yet I haven't seen people to be so active in any other hackathon. So I think this hackathon is incredibly successful because of this. People they are eager to learn as much as possible and to practice as much as possible.
Right.
And that's actually really great, because the blockchain space doesn't need developers, doesn't need new projects, and I hope that some of the little projects which appear today will become new companies. They care, actually. Like if you go to some hackathon devoted to I don't know, some boring banking API, right? Banks sponsor this hackathon from time to time, and it's like it's nothing like this. Like here, people actually come and they try to really build something. Over there, people try to win prizes. They don't actually. Often they don't even code, or if they code, they often do like hackathon coding as a service kind of thing. That also happens. But here it's
hackathon coding as a service.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, it's basically if some team wants to win a hackathon, they hire some coding team which specializes on winning hackathons, and that it does happen in like. Well, nothing like that. However, I've ever seen on Ethereum hackathons.
Okay.
But I've seen that on like traditional hackathons, especially if you have those hackathons sponsored by large companies. That actually that's where it happens, and yeah, that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, that is something.
But this hackathon winning as a service would make a good blockchain project by itself.
Maybe. I think the hackers, like you said, at ETHIndia are true and just
they are
hungry.
True. They are true hackers. They are really willing to learn, and that's what they came for, and that's really great. At ETHIndia, actually, if you even compare Ethereum hackathons, those I've seen so far, I think out of all hackers at ETHIndia are probably the most active, or like the most interactive, I would say. And that's great, because that's how you learn.
Right. India is a lot of fun, and India as a whole is fun as well. Thank you so much for your time, and we hope you come back.
Definitely.
For sure.